All right, my insurance warriors. Hey, this is another video to help you pass your insurance claims adjusters exam, covering particularly property and casualty. That's what I took. I am making this video because the first time I took the test, I failed. So I am hoping that by making these videos, it'll save you the trouble and some money and the time from having to do this twice. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, tip number one. After you have reviewed all your test material, I want you a week before your exam, I want you to take as many practice questions as you can. The best way to do this so you don't get fatigued is to do 20-minute sessions. Set a timer, use your watch, your phone, use a system like Alexa to set a 20-minute timer.
20 minutes, starting now.
And my Alexa just started. So you can use that. Um, and then take a 5-minute break in between. Walk around the house, maybe watch a short video clip, but get up away from the computer is my recommendation so your body can refresh itself and then come back to the questions. Each one that you get wrong, I want you to review so that you can focus on which ones are right, um, like the right answer. Because I noticed taking practice questions, if I got it wrong today, more than likely I got it wrong tomorrow because I didn't focus on which one was the right answer. I just rushed through the questions, and if I got most of them right, I was okay, happy with that. But that didn't work for me the first time since I failed my exam. The second time around, I made sure that the ones that I got wrong, I re-answered those questions 3 to 5 times to make sure that I had it right. So tip number one, again, would be after you review the material, all I want you to do is that week before your test is to take practice questions. If you need more time, reschedule your exam. Don't go straight from course material to taking the exam because you won't understand like the questions and what they're really looking for. Please, please, please go through as many practice questions as you can. And here's a good places to get your questions. One, you can use your course that you have and just go through the quizzes. I would just click past the course material and just go for question after question after questions with the practice exams or the practice quizzes. If you have more than a week, use I say 10 days. 2 weeks is a little long, but 10 days is really, really good. 7 days, you're going to really be cutting it short because you don't want to be practicing the night before your exam. You want to get as much rest as possible. Test times are usually pretty early, and I also recommend taking a test as early as possible. Don't take it at 2 p.m. because you'll have so much other stuff going on, and then you may be panicked to get around the like your day trying to get to the location, which is probably not close to where you live or where you work. Gas, you're thinking about that. What if traffic is, going crazy? So you just want a nice, smooth morning. Just wake up. I know it's early, 8 a.m. It sucks, I know. Just wake up early, drive the distance, and get to your space and just take the exam. Don't try to cram right before. That's something else that I did wrong when I took my exam. I tried to take it at 2 o'clock. Testing facility was an hour away, and I was studying right up into the very last minute. And I got a 69, which in Georgia is a fail because you need a 70. Tip two: know the difference between alloc aleatory and adhesion. Here's a question that I remember getting on my exam, and I believe there were maybe 3 to 4 questions on aleatory or adhesion. This question says the courts will usually favor the claims of the insured when there are disagreements with the insurance company because the insured has to accept most of the terms set up by the insurance company. This means the insurance policy is an unilateral contract, a contract of adhesion, an aleatory contract, or a conditional contract. You can pause the video if you want to take a guess at this, but I'm going to move forward and answer in 2 slides. So I wanted to give you an example of aleatory. So before we answer the question, in aleatory contract, the example basically is what happens when you pay for insurance and you need to make a claim. And let's say the damage to your car is $3,000. You'll pay a $500 deductible and you will be indemnified $2,500. This will take place even if you have insurance on your car and you've only paid 2 months premium. The insurance company will still indemnify you for 2,500. They don't mind doing that because only a few people are going to make a claim. Only a few people are going to make a claim. So this majority is going to help pay for that $3,000 that you need for your deductible. So the insurance company really doesn't mind that at all, even if it's only been 1 or 2 months. So essentially, it's you getting more. This definition is you getting more than what you paid. So you're getting $2,500, but you've only paid. Let's say it's only been 1 month. You paid less than $700. So you really do come out with a gain, but you're indemnified. So once all of this is paid, you don't have like extra money at the end of your indemnification. Now, adhesion is when the insurance company makes the contract and the insured decides to take it or leave it. So basically, they lead you by the hand down the road to wherever they want to go, and you decide to stay holding hands or you decide not to hold hands anymore. So those are the 2 differences. One, it's just about equal balance, and then 2 is really just to take it or leave it. So again, if you want to try this question again, now I'm seeing those 2 definitions, or at least hearing the 2 definitions explained. Go ahead and pause it, but your answer is going to be it's a contract of adhesion. So just try to remember that and get familiar with that it is it's also what the court will favor. So if there's any ambiguities in the contract, the court will really usually side with the insured, not the insurer, the insured, because the insurance company made the contract and it should have been good. It should have been better. Next tip is to teach it. If that's always been something in any subject that you learn, if you really want to learn it, you teach it because you get to learn it twice. So think about friends who have been in recent accidents. I had a friend who actually just had a hit and run. He had witnesses and he was actually hit outside of his car, and but his uninsured motorist policy will take care of that. He can also look into his grandparents who he stays with, so he's a relative. He can also look into their home insurance policy to see if there's any medical coverage, because that might be something else that could help him indemnify him from some of his medical bills. You can also look into friends buying insurance. Maybe they have a small business and they want to know, should they have theft protection and to what level? Should it just be for scheduled employees? Should it be for a specific role or all employees? You can also look at friends who are buying a home. Do they just want fire and lightning? How close do they live to a lake? How close do they live to any body of water? Do they live in a floodplain? Talk to your friends who may be high risk insurers because or insureds because they have many speeding tickets and they want to know what options do they have. There's different programs like the residual market that would help them be able to get insurance because they have to have it. I'm trying to think if you know anybody with a farm. There's always that, like seeing what type of insurance your friend with a farm has, or if you have it yourself. So teachers tell people, let people know. I love hearing people. Well, I don't love hearing people got into an accident, but I love being able to now hear what happened and maybe helping them through the anguish of getting that accident. And people are usually worried about their rates going up, but that's not true. Your rates usually don't go up off of just one accident. But again, and then even if it does, you can switch insurers. So, look into that um, for, so look into those things when you're like teaching it. Just talk to friends. Everybody has an insurance, knows somebody who needs it or just been in an accident of a sort. So just go ahead and try to teach it. Tip 4 is know what time insurance policies end. These are two questions that I got from the exam both times that I took it. So not just once, but twice these questions came up each time I took the exam. So I've seen these questions a total of 4 times. And if you're not sure, you might second guess yourself, but just know that it's 12:01 in the insured's time zone. So if State Farm is here in Georgia, but if you live out in Colorado, your policy wouldn't expire until 12:01 Mountain Time, 12:01 a.m. Mountain Time. It would not expire at 12:01 Eastern Time. So that's always good to know too as well. So if you needed to maybe make a payment, you would do that ahead of time. Oh, tip 5, use in real life. Think about the home that you have. Do you rent? Do you own? Do you own a car? Did you buy a car? Do you borrow a car frequently? Do you own a business? Do you have contractors? Do they need bonded? Do they need license that will help with a bond? Different types of contractors might need workers' comp. I know in California, if you have to have workers comp because you have people working on your home, on your lawn, doing repairs to your house. So you would want that so that somebody gets hurt, that you won't have to pay out of pocket for that. Um, Also, too, I mean, like, look at this picture here. While this car may be insured, anything that goes wrong in this incident of this guy being pulled on a pot would more than likely not be insured because they are not using that car in its intended use, and it's going to be an intentional act. He's not being held down to be on that pot of his. So it's an intention. So he's intentionally doing it. It's not an accident. So his home medical payments probably wouldn't be covered either, and liability from the car may not be there as well. Just again because it's not in its intended use. There's a video I want you to YouTube. It's called Judge Judy. Redneck sister hits deer with her car. I love this video because it talks about a deer hitting the car, which is not going to be covered by comprehensive. The sister mentions full coverage. It really wouldn't matter because you could actually just have collision because in insurance, when an animal hits you, it's collision, not comprehensive. Also, too, they mention insurance on that. I believe it's an older car, so there was even liability. Even if she had liability, it wouldn't matter because it was her sister's car. And then if she did have insurance, her sister actually, that insurance would have covered it, but because it was an older car, she didn't have full coverage, so the insurance wasn't there. So it's a good case to look at and to use for the real life situation.